1、2、3。
哎呦我的妈！老弟啊，跟你做事下面就是高哈。
年轻人干活就是有劲，干就完了。
喂，谁叫你这一把啦？这把都被真拉够了，
快来喽！
哎呦我的妈！
快手，拥抱每一种生活。
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring.
Like, I'm a sapiosexual. You get me here, you gonna get me there. Okay? you gotta get the mind first. I'm like, every time I'm on the phone with you, I'm like, and I know you'll buy me every Chanel collection, everything in Gucci. You'll take me on every trip I want to go on. But when we there, what we talking about? Like, it's something about that. Like, I have to be stimulated mentally.
I got a question for the kids that's my age. Did y'all mama grease y'all face like my face? Just look at my face. Just look at my face. Just look at it. My face is a mess.
It ain't no mess.
You're not a cow. You are not a cow. Come home. Come home, Lola. You're not a cow.
Ashley, look at me.
Hey, did you break that? You broke it.
Back in the days, me a play.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit.
Linda. Sometimes all I think about is food, late night and in the afternoon, diets, beast.
May. Hey! You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Hey! Did you break that? You broke it.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit.
Yep, they did it again.
Ding dong.
Don't bite his tail.
Hey Squid, I know you're eating and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to tell you that you have over 6,000 followers. What do you think? Squid? You okay?
It's okay. Oh my god. Okay. It's okay.
Do you have eyes on the target?
Yes, sir.
The person on the right. He is my son. You are to protect him at all cost. He's my only son. Hello? Do you have eyes on the target?
Yes, sir.
The person on the right. He is my son. You are to protect him at all cost. He's my only son. Hello?
If I don't love you, no king. I prefer to be in chain. For your love, all of my money now yours. My body and soul.
Is there a phone I can just hold? So, if you have thank you. If you have a device like this, and you go on it, you go online, as long as you have data, and you put in www.nelf.gov.ng, you can sit down and apply for this loan. And for the next 30 to 60 days, if you don't know anybody, you don't see anybody, you don't talk to anybody, you don't leave your room, you will receive an alert on the same phone with your stipend, and you will receive a notification that your school fees have been paid. You don't need to know anybody, you don't need to know the MD. If you never see me again, it won't make a difference to you getting this loan. Isn't that amazing? I think the president deserves a round of applause. So, I'm going to run through this very quickly, all right, because I think that this is one place where, with the dynamism I've seen in the leadership and the students I'm seeing here, you're so on the ball, so sharp. You're all so sharp. What happens once you go online, you put in some very basic information. One, we need to know that you are Nigerian. This loan is for Nigerians. Your NIN is required. We need to know that you've accessed the institution properly. So your JAM is required. But I'll come back to JAM. Your date of birth, your name. And you also need to have your matriculation number or your admission number. If you have all those things and you put it into the system, we will cross-check it with the information we already have. What's the information we have? We already have data on all of you. Your school has provided us with all the data I talked about. Once you put that information in, it cross-checks with what we have on our database. Once it cross-checks and confirms that it's you, that's why we don't need to see you. It tells us that the person who's applying for this loan, if they have all this information, it must be that person. Don't share your information with anybody so that your identity is not stolen. But once you have that information, it cross-checks with what we have in our system, and it then says, okay, you are allowed to create an account. To create an account, one of the things you need to do is put your email address in the system, account create.
Because I found out that day that they could kill me, but they couldn't kill the idea. Victor Hugo said, no force on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. The idea of one race, the human race, is an idea whose time has come. We are not going to be able to stop it no matter what they do. They can elect Trump after Trump after Trump, and that will not stop the idea that there's only one race on the face of the earth. It's the human race, and we are all members of it. You and I are cousins. Now, if you don't like being my cousin, that's too bad for you. But we are all in the same family. We are members of the family of man.
You say that all whites are racist. Can you expound on that, please?
Any white person who was born, raised, and schooled in the United States of America, if you aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Either that or you decided to educate yourself. Because education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's got to stand back. Yellow's mellow, but whites, we educate in a way that says that white males have done all the adventures, have made all the adventures, have done all the discovering, have made all, everything that is good and has been accomplished according to social studies, which is actually anti-social studies, by white males. It's a lie. But we do that in order to maintain the myth of white superiority. The myth of race has to be maintained at all costs in this country. Because if white people have to give up the color of their skin as being something that makes them perfect, what do they have left? If we start teaching the truth about history, if we start teaching about Nile Valley contributions to civilization, it will totally change the way we conduct ourselves in the classroom. It will have to. Columbus didn't discover America. You can't discover a place where people are already living. But we celebrate that every October. It's a lie. We need to get over. We need to stop telling the myths and start telling the truth.
So when you tell people that they're racist, and it must have some kind of effect, because most people will say, I'm not racist.
I'm not a racist. Why, some of my best friends are black.
Right.
Yeah, and then you say, name one. Or this one, I don't see color. And when some woman says to me, I don't see color, I say, I knew that. If you saw color, you wouldn't dye your hair that way. Or I say, if you saw color, you wouldn't wear that shirt with those pants. I believe that you don't see color. It's an attempt to deny skin color. And it's an attempt to deny what's wrong with seeing the color of my skin. Is it all right for you to see me kind of pink? That's okay for me. I don't mind. And I suspect that you don't mind being seen the color you are. You have a right to be what you are. And until people in this country and people in this world get it into their heads that the first modern human beings that evolved on this earth were black women. They evolved in sub-Saharan Africa about 280,000 years ago, and every human being on the face of the earth today has the memory of those black women's genetic structure in their genes. Now, we don't want to admit that, but that's the way it is. And as people moved farther and farther from the equator, their bodies produced less and less melanin, so their hair, their skin, and their eyes got lighter. As they moved into the east, they ate a lot of fish and a lot of vegetables, so their skin took on a different tone. I found that out when I was raising little kids. My husband worked in a supermarket. He was the head of the produce department. And they had lots of oranges that they couldn't sell, so he'd bring them home. And I was feeding my kids orange juice like you never saw in your life. They began to have an orange cast to their skin. I thought they had a liver problem. So I took him to the doctor, and she said, what are you feeding these kids? I said, well, lots of orange juice. She said, stop it if you want them to stop being orange. Now, if you think that skin color isn't anything other than the body's natural reaction to the natural environment, get over it.
So if all white people are racist, according to you, can they be reprogrammed?
Of course they can. Of course they can. Of course they can be. It's called education. I'm an educator. The word educator comes from the root duc dus, which means lead, the prefix e, which means out, the suffix ate, which means the act of, and the suffix or, which means one who does. An educator is one who is engaged in the act of leading people out of ignorance. Now, I know you can change them. The second year I did the blue-eyed, brown-eyed exercise in my classroom, it was filmed by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. They gave me a copy of that film. I showed it to my father. My father was about 59 years old at the time. He's been a farmer all his life. He raised six kids, lost one, raised six. Watched that film as a 59-year-old man. When it was over, he stood up, and with tears in his eyes, he took his red handkerchief out of the back pocket of his overalls, his bib overalls, and said, I wish somebody had taught me that when I was 9 years old. Nobody had dare say to me, this doesn't work, this is too harsh, this isn't necessary, you can't teach an old dog new tricks because they're wrong. You can teach an old dog new tricks. You can teach people to give up the myth of racism. Somebody taught the Greeks to give up the myth that the sun was a god in a golden chariot that went across the sky every morning. They believed that for hundreds of years. We have believed the myth of 3 or 4 races, different races in this country, for long enough. 572 years or something like that is enough of that. It was a lie to begin with, and it's a
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
我们不一样，每个人都有不同的境遇。我们在这里等你。我们不一样，虽然会经历不同的事情，我们都希望来生还能相遇。
When O'Donnell used to run the country, he subdivision tried to build a wall.
He made a few of his people wealthy. Oh, he don't care about the rest at all.
He's got convictions, he did the nasty and undermined the Constitution.
He's an oppressor of civil liberties, megalomaniac Republican. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald Trump.
You see, she's safer than him with money. She'll try to regulate the sale of guns. She's bringing measures that offer hope,
not fear, access to healthcare and abortion.
We know there's grief with the neighbors' borders, with climate change and immigration. Don't want a president of the USA who's dangerous to everyone.
Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald Trump.
She's got a father who's from Jamaica.
She had a mother who was Indian.
She wasn't born into fancy money, oh, but had a good education.
Well, you could vote for a weird felon who threatens bloodbaths and civil war.
But it's a bad move to trust in the wrinkled husk
of a Satsuma that went off before. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald Trump.
he makes up lies like an angry toddler, seeking attention from the media round. Oh, he may deny the facts, but like Pizza Max, he's just an 80s tape that's wearing down.
He thinks the law is beneath his station. Sexual assault doesn't understand. We've seen his wife spend her life looking quite uptight in case he dares to try to hold her hand. Oh, give me hope,
no Jesus. He's got the moves of a battery hand. Better to keep him on a course where his handicap is not fomenting insurrection.
You might not like who he calls Camilla. She's Californian and not a man. But she won't set the country burning or take it back to 1861. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala. Give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala. Hope for beating Donald Trump. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala. Give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala. Hope for beating Donald Trump.
That was my best one yet. I didn't mess up the harmony.
That was good.
I got the right note on the harmony.
But she wasn't recording.